Hi, this is Shweta, and what I want to talk about today is the importance of communication in these times. It is really important that you are communicating frequently with your team members and having the right quality of communication. Now, very many people are trying to have that right quality, but there's a very simple way to make sure that that's happening, which is set in belief, set in conviction. For that, you need to actually step out of this communication with your team and just look inward. What I mean by that is, how is the communication with yourself happening right now? What is it that you're telling yourself when you're by yourself? Is it positive? Is it set in faith? Is it set in fear? Is it a lot of chitter chatter? Is it a spiral downwards, or there is a velocity moving forward? What is the quality of your communication with yourself when you're by yourself? What are you telling yourself, about the situation, about people around you, about what's going to happen? This is so important for you to pay attention to. And why that is important, let's think about it. If the conversation is not in the right direction or it's negative, let's talk about that, right? And then you're trying to be positive and you're speaking to your team members, your clients, your suppliers, there is incongruency, there is misalignment. And when there is misalignment on a continued basis, it's just going to cause you internal stress and that kind of strain where you feel that you're putting up a facade. You're not being truthful. You're not being honest. You're not being aligned. You're not being authentic. Now, for that to happen, your internal dialogue has to be at the right place. And then your external dialogue is happening. And I'm not meaning that you have to be extra positive or extra enthusiastic, just being truthful with yourself. And if you feel, and again, just taking to the next level, if you feel that your internal dialogue is again and again getting into negative zone, where you're being fearful, where you are feeling frustrated, you are very, very unsure, and that's really getting you in a very anxious state, then obviously that's not the right time to communicate with other people. But more importantly, how do you bring it back into the right balance? How do you again center yourself? And there is one very simple question that helps your brain to think in a different way, which is, what is the evidence of that? That's it. A simple question to ask. What is the evidence of that? So, for example, if you feel that you're asking or you're telling yourself, saying, oh, I'm not so sure if I'll be able to be successful again, or I'll be able to rebuild. Oh, I'm not so sure if, we'll get out of this. All that stuff, the chitter chatter, the negative talk that's happening, you need to ask yourself and ask your brain, saying, what is the evidence of that? And if there is no evidence, if there is no proper fact that you can base that chitter chatter on, then it's just your fear kicking in. And it's okay to recognize that, to understand that, to face it, and then let it pass. So make sure that you are being very aware of your internal communication with yourself when you're by yourself, and it's in the right place before you communicate it to your team members. Because once you are congruent and you believe in that and you have the conviction, people sense it, people get it. And that's what we need right now in these times. So make sure you're aware and you're communicating in the best possible manner, based on reality, based on fact, based on belief, based on faith, and knowing that this too shall pass.